In the previous learning classes, in the previous PPTs, we talked about communication fundamentals: read, speak, write, decode, encode, giving message, sending message, feedback, noise. We talked about our speaking skills. We talked about our reading skills. Now, in this module, we are going to talk about professional writing, clarity, tone, and impact. Developing writing skills to communicate clearly and confidently in professional settings, whether through email, reports, or digital platforms. That means our focus should be on developing writing skills to communicate clarity and confidently in professional settings, whether through emails, reports, or digital platforms. Wherever we are responding, wherever we are talking, let that be a digital platform, let that be a professional setting, somewhere in the office, somewhere in corporates, MNCs, whether through emails or through any confident professional setting, we have to understand that our learning area should be structuring emails, messages, and reports with confidence, sentence structure, voice, and tone, writing professional emails, memos, and updates, writing for digital platforms, that is, email, chat, and resumes. Structuring emails, messages, and reports with confidence. Why it matters? Why does it matter? We are going to talk about structuring email messages and reports with confidence. Clear structure helps your reader act quickly, stay informed, and trust your professionalism. That means a clear structure of your writing skill, of your emails, your messages, or your reports helps the reader. Whenever you send a structured message, a structured writing mail, or anything to the reader, he quickly acts upon it, he stays informed, and has trust on your professionalism. He is very much aware that whatever I have received as a message from the messenger is very perfect, it has stayed informed, and he professionally trusts you on that. Whether it's a quick chat message or a formal report, a well structured message is easy to read and act upon. Let that be anything, let that be a chat message, let that be a formal report from your office, or a well structured message. Anything is easy to read and act upon for the reader. As far as the sender is sending is, he has to be very clear, he has to be focused, he has to stay informed, and he has to be very much professional. And the reader has to understand that the one who is getting the text, getting the message, getting the formal report has a professional confidence on him. Structured message is easy to read and act upon. Professionals don't have time to decode cluttered messages. Clarity saves times and avoids misunderstandings. As we have already briefly talked about this clarity of messages, clarity of typing messages, clarity of writing messages in our previous learning classes, also in our previous slides also, we have very clearly understood and mentioned that our message should be clear, our message should be precise, it should be to the point, so that the reader who gets the message professionally decodes without any wasting time and has clarity, saves his time, and avoids misunderstandings. Now, the key parts of any message, let that be structured, let that be social, let that be through mail, let that be a chat, it needs greetings, it needs a purpose, it needs details, it needs actions, and it needs closing. Talking about greetings, set a polite tone. We have to set a polite tone with greetings. Purpose should be very clearly mentioned. Why are you writing? What is the purpose of writing? Again, in the previous slides, previous learnings also, we have learned that messages are of purposes are of various kinds. They can be follow ups, they can be reminders, they can be your sending mails, they can be anything. So you have to be very precisely understanding why are you writing, what is the purpose of your writing. Third is details. What is the key message in that particular thing? You need to mention the detail, what exactly the message is trying to convey. Action, what do you need to do after getting the message, after getting the details of the message, what should be your action plan. And closing, wrap up with the warmth and clarity. Thanks with regards, warm wishes, and with clarity of the message. Structuring emails, messages, and reports. Part 5, Confidence. Greetings. This set the tone. It should be respectful and appropriate for relationships. Example, hi Meera, or dear Mr. Kapoor. As we already mentioned in the previous slide, we have to go with the greetings first. So the tone should be very soft. It should be respectful, appropriate, and for the relationships to understand. For example, let's take an example of Meera or Mr. Kapoor. Hi Miss Meera, or how are you, Mr. Dare, Mr. Kapoor. Purpose is the context. Now, what is in this? Start with why you are writing. Don't make the reader guess. When you're writing, you should be very clear about what you're writing. If the reader is guessing your message, that means your message is not clear. Main message details. This is the body. Keep it clear. Use short paragraphs or bullet points. Examples. Landing page redesign due Thursday. Main messages. Landing page needs to be redesigned. And the body is, when does it need to be ready? On Thursday. Right? Social media assets. Pending approvals. Calls to action. What should the reader do next? Reply, confirm, review, or attend. Be clear. Please review and let me know by 5 p.m. if this works for you. Now, what are we trying to understand is that our message should be full of greetings first, then it should have a proper purpose. Main message details should be there. Example we've already given. Call to action should be there. Closing point should also be there. Call of action is what should the reader do next? Reply, confirm, or review, or attend. Be clear. Examples. Please review and let me know by 5 p.m. if it works for you. Closing. Be polite and professional. Example. Thanks. Looking forward to your input. Update on client meeting. Hi Rohan. Subject. For example, a simple work email. A simple work email. Subject. Update on client meeting. Hi Rohan. Just summarizing today's client call. Delivery deadline 20th May. Client request updated visuals by Friday. Let me know if you need help with the design section. Thanks, Aditi. This is a simple work mail where you are asking for the update of a client meeting from your colleague, and you're summarizing it by saying that the delivery deadline is on 20th of May and the client has requested to please update the visuals by Friday beforehand. Please let me know if any help is required, and the design section is done. Thanks. A simple and precise mail where you're able to make the reader understand that this is a call for your updating meeting with the client, where summarizing the client's deadline is necessary. Any help required, please let us know. Why are we focusing on these skills? What is the reason of focusing on these skills? We can be normally writing mails, we can be normally writing text. Koi baat nahi, how does it make a difference if the sender is sending whatever XYZ messages and the receiver is again receiving whatever XYZ messages? It's not going to make any difference. But no, there should be a reason of focusing on these skills. Sentence structure. It helps learners understand how to build professional, easy to read sentences essential for emails, reports, and messages. It's very important. Sentence structure is very important. Why is it important? It helps the learners Understand how to build professional, easy to read sentences, essential for mails, reports, and messages. Voice. It teaches them how to choose between active, passive constructions, impacting clarity and confidence in writing. Tone ensures that their writing feels appropriate, respectful, depending on the situations or the audience. So, we are trying in this slide we are trying to understand that why are we focusing on these skills where we need to take care of sentence structures, voice, tone, ensuring. Why? Because this helps learners to understand and build a professional rapport. This helps teach how to choose between active passive construction of the words plus clarity and confidence in writing. Third, tone ensures their writing feels appropriate, respectful, depending on the situations or the audience. Sentence structure. What should the sentence structure be? Keep sentences short and focused. The team submitted a draft is better than the draft was submitted by the team yesterday afternoon. Now keep sentences short and focused. Your being short and focused means the message should be loud, the message should be clear. If there is any requirement, that should be also very, very clear. And the information should be proper. They say the team submitted a draft, it is done, is better than the draft was submitted by the team yesterday afternoon. Comparison level. Yesterday's draft was not that good, today's draft is better. So, keeping it precise and simple, the team submitted a draft which is better than the draft which was submitted yesterday by the team. Avoid long complex sentences with too many commas or thoughts. Stick to one main idea for sentences to avoid confusions. Voice. Who is speaking and how? Voice in writing refers to the personality, attitude or perspective of the writer as expressed through words. It is about who is speaking and how they come across. That means we are talking about the voice, who is speaking and how is he speaking. Speaking in what? Speaking in the mail, speaking in the chat. Definitely you're putting your thought process into words. Now your words speak. They speak your mind, they speak your heart, they speak your thought process. So voice in writing refers to the personality, attitude and perspective of the writer as expressed through words. It is about who is speaking, how they come across, right? There are two types to understand. One is active voice, the other is passive voice. Now what is active voice? Preferred in professional writing. Active voice is always preferred in professional writing. Structure, subject, verb, object. For example, the team completed the project. There is a subject in it, there is a verb and there is an object. What is the work? Verb, completed. The team completed the project. Subject is also there, verb is also there and the object is also there. Now coming to the passive voice, structure, object and verb. By subject, for example, the project was completed by the team. In active voice, which is preferred professional writing, is the team completed the project, the team, the subject, the verb is completed, project is the object, right? Passive voice means subject, object is there, subject is important, so the project was completed by the team. Active voice makes writing stronger and direct. This is that voice which makes writing strong and direct. For example, we completed the project on time. Passive voice sounds weaker and indirect. This is strong. Active voice is strong and it's direct. There are no confusions in it. There is clarity of thought process, of the mindset, of the work. We completed the project on time. Passive voice sounds weaker and indirect. Like, the project was completed on time by the team. Got the point? Use active voice unless you want to remove focus from the subject. So what we need to understand is, if you want to remove the focus from the subject, then we can use passive voice. If we want to be very clear, strong and direct, we can use active voice. Use active voices unless you want to remove focus from the subject, which is rare in business communications. Why? Because in business communications you need to be precise and perfect on dot. So you can only use active voice in business because you have to be strong, your writing has to be strong and it has to be direct. Whereas passive voice doesn't have a direct voice, it has an indirect voice and it sounds weaker. So you have to be very clear about it. Tone, emotions behind the words. Tone refers to the feelings or attitude you bring, express. It depends on the word choice, formality, punctuation and context. Now we are talking about the tone. In the last PPT, we were talking about the active voice and the passive voice in our corporates, in our business, in our team. Now we are talking what kind of tone should we use in our business. Tone should be behind the words. Tone refers to the feelings where attitude while expressing your writing. It depends on the word choice. You need to understand that your word choice should be, punctuation should be there, word choice should be proper. Your tone reflects your attitude. It shows the situation. It should match the situation. Whatever mindset you are into, whatever problems you are having, whatever situation you are facing, when you are talking about a tone, when you are thinking to talk to somebody, you have to understand that your tone is going to reflect your mindset. So you have to be very clearly understanding that your word choice should be perfect and good. Why? Tone matters. It influences how people feel about your message. Definitely yes. It affects how they respond, cooperation or resistance. It can build trust or break it. Very true. Now let's explain these three topics. Let's explain these 3 points. It influences how people feel about your message. Maybe you would be feeling bad, good or whatever within yourself. But if your tone is high, if your tone is not good, if the choice of your words is not good, the person who is listening to you will feel offensive about it. He will not get influenced by you. Then you have to explain to him, oh my god, I was in a bad state of mind, that's why I was speaking like that. That's again an illusion. You have to be perfect in speaking, you have to be perfect in selecting your words. It affects how they respond. The moment you are harsh, the moment you are rude, intentionally or unintentionally, the other person is going to respond accordingly. If you are harsh, he is going to give you a harsh answer. If you are soft, he is going to be polite and sweet to you. Cooperations, or he will cooperate with you, he will show resistance also. It can build trust or break trust. Your voice of volume, your words of choice, your maintaining that decorum while speaking, while writing, makes a hell lot of difference on your personality. It can build the trust of anybody else, it can break it on the same very time. So see how important the choice of words is in writing, in speaking and in listening as well. Friendly behavior. When writing to teammates or peers, hey, just sent you the file, let me know if you need any changes. This shows automatic resistance, purity, love, clearance and softness. Professional formal. For reports, clients and senior managers, please find attached the requested document. Let me know if further updates are needed. This sounds total professional, total formal. How? We are talking about the reports, client and senior management. Please find attached, we are requesting, please find attached the requested document and please let us know the updates if there are any. So this sounds professional. Whereas the first one was sounding friendly, encouraging. That means getting motivated or motivating somebody. When motivating others or giving feedback, great efforts, just a few tweets needed before we send it. So if somebody has done a great job, if somebody has achieved something, so your point of appreciation would be great effort. Appreciating somebody, giving somebody a tweet gives appreciation and a positive response to the other person. You can give encouragement in these motivating figures or words. Assertive. When setting boundaries or clarifying responsibilities, we'll need the final input from you by Wednesday to stay on schedule. This is being assertive, where you're setting boundaries, where you're telling the other person that we need input from you, only then we can schedule it. Are you interested? Are you responsible for it? Only then it can be scheduled. Email to a colleague, too aggressive. You were supposed to send the report yesterday. Why isn't it in my inbox? Now this email is aggressive. Aggressive means you're losing your cool because it was scheduled and deadlined for yesterday and still you have not received it. Better tone. Just checking in on the reports. Let me know if you need any help or is there any update. Why it works? The second version is collaborative and polite. It keeps the conversation open and friendly. Now let's explain this. Too aggressive mail, too aggressive voice of word communication is automatically bad. Why? If you are aggressive, if you are misbehaving, if you are losing your conduct, if you are losing your voice of volume, the other person is also going to respond in the same way whatsoever. Even if he doesn't respond, he's going to feel it somehow. So it is better to keep your tone soft, to keep the words soft, to ask but in a proper manner, in a better tone. Just checking it on the report. There is difference between the first sentence and the second sentence. Whereas in the first sentence it's totally aggressive and the second sentence is sober. So it is better to use the second version to be polite and collaborative. You get good response, good support, and your work happens on time. Effective writing communication is essential. Whether you are sending a formal email, drafting a company memo, or giving a quick project update, your writing reflects your professionalism and clarity of thoughts. That means effective writing communication is very important. Whether you are sending a formal mail, you are drafting a company memo, or you are doing a quick project, your reflection of professionalism is totally going to be there in your communication. So be active, be respectful, be precise, be drafting in a manner where nothing is offensive, where everything is polite, where everything is normal, where everything is explanatory, where everything is understood. These communication formats are not just because about grammar or structure. They help build trust, convey important information, and ensure smooth coordination across teams. This is true. It is not just that you are the boss, you are the manager, and you have all the right to bully your colleague, to write wrong words to your colleague, not to be polite to the colleague because that comes in your KRA. No, that is not at all a key responsibility area. What do you need to understand? You need to understand that you build trust, relationship, importance in information, smooth coordination when you are polite in your communication, when you have effective communication, when you are formally writing the mails, when you are reflecting professionalism in your mails, and the other person is responding in the same manner. Emails are the most common form of professional communication. You cannot go to everybody's table and confirm. You have to work through mails. So they are a very common form of professional communication. A good mail should be clear, polite, and purpose driven. A good mail, what may the situation, what may the circumstances be, what may your mindset be, what trouble you would be facing, but you have to be clear, polite, and purpose driven in your mails. Structure of professional emails. Subject line should be clear and specific. For example, follow-up, budget proposals or submissions should be clear. Greeting should be clear, polite and appropriate. For example, dear Mrs. Sharma or hi Ravi, whatever. Opening lines, state your purpose. Example, I am writing to follow up on the proposal discussion last week. Body should be including your key information, one idea or per paragraph. Example, the revised version now included the update figures as requested. See, the examples in these slides are for you to understand simply the version of the point, the topic which has been discussed with you. Like I'm talking about subject line. It should be clear and specific. Now my example is talking about budget and proposal submission. That doesn't mean we are talking about budget and proposal submission only. It can be anything, but the focus should be clear and specific. Same is the way with greetings. Let it be anything, let it be any mail, let it be about any scenario, but it should be polite and appropriate. Opening should be state your purpose. Body should include key information, idea, and paragraph. Closing line should be always ending with thanks. Please let me know if any changes are needed. Thanks. Sign off should be kept professional. Best regards, whatever XYZ name. Subject: updated timeline, team availability, action needed. Dear team, you are all doing, this is just an example to make you people understand the process and the procedure of writing a formal mail. I am writing to share the updated timeline for the project phenomenal rollout. We have successfully completed phase 1-2. The design team is being phase 3 on May 15. Please review the attached document and confirm your availability. Let me know if you have any questions. Best regards, XYZ Project Coordinator. This is an example of a complete professional email where you have the body, where you have the subject, where you have the forthcoming interactions, where you are saying hello, where you are saying thanks, where you are giving your warm regards. Memos in the same way are used for sharing information with an organization, usually regarding policies, decisions, and instructions. They need to be shared with the employees. To, from, date, and subject at the top. Examples: to sales team, from the manager, date is mentioned, subjects are mentioned. Introduction is state the topic, whatever topic has to be mentioned. Memos outline should be updated. The procedure for qualifying lead should be proper. Details should be there. Bullet points or short paragraphs. Leads must not be contacted within 24 hours. Please begin using this process straight online. Tips: memos should be formal and direct, not chatty. Now coming to this slide, we'll discuss about memos. Memos need to have the structure of the memos. These memos are from the organization, usually regarding the policies of the organizations, decisions of the organizations, and instructions of the organizations. Structure of the memo is: sales team talking from the manager, memo is going from the manager, the date is mentioned, the subject is there, new lead process or whatever. Introduction: what is the topic in the subject, details, what all is needed to be mentioned. Memo should not be answered within 24 hours, and conclusion should be there. They should not be chatty, they should be direct. Examples of a complete professional memo. In the last slide we talked what should be memo, considering about, and what is exactly memo. Now we are talking about a professional memo. We have drafted a memo for you which is very clear and focused for you to understand what exactly can be sketched in a memo to understand. To all marketing team members, from Priya Mehra, marketing lead, date mentioned, subject upcoming product launch, planning meeting. We will hold a planning meeting for the upcoming product launch on Thursday, 15th May, time mentioned in the conference room B. Please come prepared with your campaign ideas, timelines, and any data on the past launches. Your input is critical in shaping the strategy and ensuring a successful release. Let me know if you are unable to attend. So, this is very clear, very precise, to whom it is mentioned, from whom it is going, what is the date, what is the subject which we are talking about, where are we supposed to meet, inputs, what inputs have to be needed, what all has to be kept prepared, and at the end, let's hope to meet again. Updates. Status on progress. Updates are short messages, often mails and chats, used in formal progresses programs without requiring a response. How to write a professional update. State when it's been done. We have completed the first round. Second example is bug fixes. Third is why we need extra design help on Friday. So these are updates on statuses or progresses. Examples of a complete professional update. Now the last slide was about professional updates. Now this is a complete update. Subject update: website revamp, phase 1 completed. Hi team, great news, phase 1 of the website revamp has been successfully completed. First bullet: all landing pages have been redesigned. Second, mobile representativeness has been improved. Third, initial feedback from users is positive. Next, up in phase 2, which focuses on context upgrades, SEO, or task list will be shared by tomorrow. Thanks, Anuj. For chat. Example: Slack, Teams, WhatsApp for work. Purpose: quick,